Welcome to USMLE SARTI. We are committed to empowering IMGs. We're excited to guide you on your match journey. Don't forget to click subscribe and turn on notifications so you can get notified whenever we add new content. Also, follow us on Instagram and Twitter for the latest tips and tricks regarding everything USMLE. Now, let's dive into it.
You have to talk about yourself a little bit. You don't want to be very boastful, but you can't not just talk about anything and just leave everything. So important things that you can do to make sure that your CV, your personal statement, sorry, stands out. The structure, I'd already talked about it, but it should look like it's coming from you. It is very personal. Um, no two people are absolutely alike. So I hope we all know that there's no plagiarism at all. You cannot do that. They run through their filters. I don't know how they work. I have not been into that administrative role in my life yet, but it's not something I would ever do. The moment they feel like you are doing this at this point of life, God knows what you'll do when you become a resident or an attending, because their responsibility, the documentation, they are massive over here after a while. Once you reach the stepping stone, you will realize it. So nobody's gonna bring a person who is gonna put them at risk of getting sued. One line I'll add before this: an attending takes a resident in their team, not someone who's the strongest, the smartest, the most intelligent. An attending takes a resident in the team who they can rely on the most. Okay, who know when there's a problem they can call them, who can manage situations by themselves as much as they can, and then they can rely that if I told you this, you're gonna do that. Okay, that if an attending is sleeping at night, he knows there's someone in the hospital taking care. If you're the smartest but you have no communication skills, you're not reliable, nobody's gonna take you. So, the human aspect of it is extremely important. All right. So it should be your own voice. It should seem like you've written it, it comes from you, and they'll find that out sooner or later. When once they interview, they will find it out. Should not look generic. So it should be your own personal things, going, this is why I wanted to do it. The opening statement, um, important is important. Do you want to like completely put something in to grab attention? You can try. But the thing is, you can grab attention with two lines. Are you gonna be able to fulfill it? That's what's it, right? The movie did well in the first half, second half was so poor. You can keep someone, ingrained for some time, but their focus may go on later on, will completely go on to something else. So if you're saying like starting with a quote, starting something like completely out of the blue that people are not aware of, um, it's okay to do that as long as you have it in you to continue it in that manner later on, that you can back yourself. The very simple things of what you write in your CV, personal statement, in talk and interview, is you say things. Nobody's gonna come home to check, oh, did he really save an 18-year-old person when he was in medical school? Nobody's gonna check that. But if you say something, how your body language is, can you confidently back it up? Those are the important things. So similarly, in the opening statement, whatever you say, you're bringing on this, like, like some line to grab attention. Are you able to write about similar things later on, so it looks like, okay, whatever they wrote, like a quote, like honest is the best policy or whatsoever, are they talking about a little bit of it in their personal statement too? He didn't completely forgot about it, because writing one line is not the end of it. um Action words, this is something that I would suggest to everybody. So I have a slide that will tell you what the action words are after it. It's like basically saying that, like, for example, you have so many publications, you have so many, when you're in medical school, there are so many things going on. Um, you've done, rotations after in the US. You've worked in different hospitals after. How you show that, you've done things. Shouldn't be like, okay, I worked here 3 years as a primary care teacher, this one. So rather than write, I was like, okay, as a primary care physician, I was responsible for, taking care or treating chronic medical illnesses, maybe like, your insulin for this, or your meds for hypertension and all. So there are some verbs that I would say that they kind of shorten each sentence. Like, I conducted this, I organized this, I collaborated on this. Those things kind of show that, okay, he was not just doing the doctor-patient work. He was involved in a little bit more administrative stuff or more things in their maybe debate school or anything in their medical school a little after that. So this tells us that, you don't have just one vision. You're an, all-rounder when it comes to the field of medicine. And the last is the most important part. What do you bring to the table? This is the part that I would say I would fit in more here. Professions and training, because you're telling about your skills, right? So what do you bring to the table? For someone who has maybe worked in the military or the army, who's gone around different aspects of their life in their medical school training or before that, what they bring to the table is that they've seen such difficult circumstances that they can take care of emergencies or difficult situations when they're by themselves because they're good on thinking on their feet and managing a difficult situation. That's one example of a strength from someone's personal life, what experiences they had. Some other examples could be that you've rotated in different hospitals or different states in the US. So you have done a lot different in different, ethnicities, different backgrounds, West Coast, East Coast. Then someone who's spent 6 months in the New York City or 6 months in a different kind of environment. Let's say I gave an example of Boston, or I'm thinking of places which are more IMG friendly. Then chances are that you bring to the table is that you've seen a lot in that city. You know how the ethnicity is. You know how fast-paced the cities are. You know how the medical system works in that city. You're used to a lot of things in that city. You have friends and family, you have mentors, um, you have the education background from the city, so you know a lot of things over there. So that's another thing to bring up from your personal life and show as in strength that you have. So everyone's different in that way. People have different places, have done different things. They're more adaptable. People have stayed in the same place because you can't hide it. Your CV will show it that all these things you did are actually maybe are more focused on, those particular areas. I would definitely make sure that, when you're writing CVs, which are so like, make sure that this is particularly for this state or this university or that, there you focus on this, that I have done so many rotations here. So I think I'm a good candidate for this place because I know the place, the people, the diseases around and all those areas. Not for every place. That's why you do different personal statements for different subspecialties, and you specifies your personal statement in the last section, the last paragraph I was saying, for different universities. So your skill may be a skill for everyone, or your skill may be a skill for a different set of universities. It depends upon what skill you have and how you think you developed it. It's going to be very different for different places. Just some examples I was giving, right? Like I can say I controlled, I customized, formalized plans, spearheaded a division, um, developed, maybe, worked on a grant and developed this for the whole university, regulated some findings or anything. So these are just examples. They come pretty good. Like, Google can be a friend if you use it in the right way. If there is a team management, if you've created something, led a project, you improvised, improved. These things are really important, even in your CV. I would say definitely. This is more so in the CV, but I've used a lot in my personal statement too. It also saves time, saves words. Rather saying, you word it separately. I worked with a team of people where I was responsible for, heading the division. So like rather than just cut and write, I spearheaded a 5 to 10% division for this purpose. So that took out those 3, 4 words. So that is important when it comes to personal statement.
Thank you so much for watching. We hope that video provided valuable insights for your journey. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And check out our website for details on how we can guide you to a successful match.